It's funny, 'cause you talked before about it being a noir book, and I guess in a way it is, because one of the things I wanted to do was when I started writing it, I didn't want to write a pastiche of a 19th century novel. I wanted to write a contemporary novel that was set in the 19th century. And so I guess in a way it is a noir novel. I don't know that I'd ever actually thought about it that way, but it's about, I guess if it's like anything, it's like a TV show like Deadwood, you know, so you have this thing where it's set in the past, but it's entirely contemporary at the same time, and I wanted that. I mean, I wanted it to be kind of historically accurate, historically correct. You know, you could read it as a historical novel, but it's also an entirely contemporary novel. That second half of the book about trying to escape was about a few things. It was, I mean, when I started the book, I had two things. I had the story of Burke and Hare, who were a pair of murderers in Edinburgh who killed 19 people and sold their bodies to an anatomist in Edinburgh. And I had a dream that I'd had where I'd seen a man standing beside a road in the bush in Australia, and there's a kind of bleached winter light you get in the bush in Australia. You get it in the winter, and it's like all the colour goes out of it, but there's still this kind of glare in the light. And I knew when I had the dream, I remember having it. I don't usually remember dreams. I woke up and I knew that man was a ghost or a revenant or something, and that somehow he connected to this other part of the book. So I had that, but also I wanted to write about what happens afterwards. I mean, one of the things that always happens in movies and books is people do dreadful things and then they conveniently die.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to know what happens if you do a terrible thing. Where are you 10 years later? You know, where are you 20 years later? What do you do if you're someone who's helped kill 15, 20, 100 people? Because the world's filled with soldiers in Bosnia and Rwanda and any number of places. People have done these terrible things. And I wanted to know what that means for you, where you end up. Can you actually be redeemed? Can you be made anew? Which is, I think, what the book's really about in the end.